Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my English channel. If you are listening right now, take a slow breath because you are doing something truly good for your English today.
Absolutely. And before we begin, Emily, quick question for you. How is your day going so far?
Honestly, it has been a little busy and a little messy, but still meaningful. I kept thinking about how much our brains work when we speak English.
That already sounds like today's topic. And friends, if this podcast helps you even a little, please subscribe and stay with us. You can also like and comment to support My English channel.
Yes, especially if you understand English but still feel stuck while speaking. If that sounds like you, this episode is very important.
So Emily, let me ask you something simple. When you speak English, do you ever feel like your brain gets tired quickly?
All the time. Not because English is impossible, but because my brain tries to do too many things at once.
Exactly. And that usually comes from one strong habit.
Translation. Thinking in your own language first, then translating into English before speaking.
And by the time you finally speak, the moment feels gone. Sometimes your confidence disappears too.
That silence can feel heavy, especially in real conversations. Your heart beats faster and your mind feels crowded.
So today we are talking about something very important. How to think in English and stop translating in your head.
This is not magic, and it is not about talent. It is about training your brain gently and building a daily habit.
Let's start with a small truth. If you translate in your head, it does not mean you are bad at English. It simply means you are human.
Every beginner does this, and even advanced learners do it sometimes, especially when they feel nervous.
The problem is not translation itself. The problem is depending on translation all the time.
Think about a real situation. You're in a small shop. The cashier smiles and asks, "How are you?" Inside your head, your brain says, "What does that mean in my language?" Then it searches for the perfect answer.
Then grammar enters the room. Then fear enters the room. And finally, silence enters the room.
This happens because your brain is trying to translate, build a sentence, and check grammar at the same time. That's exhausting.
So the first step to thinking in English is not speaking more. It's simplifying your thinking so your brain can relax.
Let's talk about how children learn language. Children do not translate words in their heads.
They connect words directly to feelings and actions. When they hear hungry, they feel hunger immediately.
We want to rebuild that connection, word to meaning to feeling, not word to translation to meaning. Try this small exercise with us. When you hear the word coffee, do not translate it into your language.
Think about the smell, the warm cup in your hands, the quiet morning moment before work begins.
That is thinking in English. It starts with images and feelings, not long, perfect sentences.
Let's try another word, late. Do not translate it. Feel the stress, the quick steps, the clock on your phone.
Your brain understands faster when it connects to real life. That connection builds confidence slowly but strongly.
Now, let's talk about your inner voice, the voice inside your head that talks all day long.
Most people think in their native language automatically. We are not trying to remove that voice.
We are simply adding a second voice, a small English voice that grows every day.
For example, when you wake up in the morning, instead of thinking in your language, try one short English thought.
It's going to be a long day. That sentence is simple, natural, and completely enough.
At first, it may feel slow and uncomfortable. That is normal, because growth always feels strange in the beginning.
Let's be honest about mistakes. Many learners translate because they're afraid of being wrong.
But if you think too much about being perfect, you stop thinking in English. You start thinking about English.
That is a big difference. Thinking in English can be messy at first, with short and broken sentences.
And that is completely okay. Fluency comes from use and repetition, not from perfect grammar every time.
When I learned another language, I translated everything at first, and I felt extremely slow in conversations.
Same here, but the day I allowed myself to sound a little silly, something changed inside me.
I stopped building full, perfect sentences. I started thinking in small chunks, like I think, I want to, I don't know.
These chunks move faster in your brain because they are ready to use. They reduce pressure immediately.
So here's one simple tip. Learn ready-made phrases before focusing too much on grammar rules.
When you use those phrases daily, your brain begins switching naturally. Thinking in English becomes a habit, not a fight.
And habits need repetition, not pressure. If you feel slow today, it just means you are still training.
In the next part, we will talk about real-life speaking situations and how to stay calm when someone asks unexpected questions.
Stay with us and keep listening. Your brain is learning more than you realize right now.
The sound of a phone ringing can suddenly make your heart beat faster. That is where thinking in English becomes very real.
Yes, real life does not wait for translation. A phone call, a small question, or a quick greeting can come anytime.
So let's talk about how to train your brain for these moments without panic.
First, we need to accept something honest. You will not stop translating in one day. That expectation only creates pressure.
Exactly. Your brain has used one language for many years. We do not fight the brain, we train it gently.
Let's start with daily inner talk. Most people already talk to themselves quietly during the day.
The difference is we change the language of that inner talk little by little.
For example, you are in the kitchen making tea. Instead of thinking in your language, try short English thoughts.
I need water. The cup is clean. It's hot. These are not exam sentences. They are living thoughts.
Thoughts do not need perfect grammar. They need speed and comfort.
This is how thinking in English truly begins, with small moments that feel normal and real.
Another helpful habit is naming objects around you during the day.
You sit in your room and look around slowly. Chair, table, window, light, door.
You are building a direct connection between the object and the English word. There is no translation bridge in the middle.
It may feel simple, even childish, but this is how children build language naturally.
Now let's talk about feelings, because emotions help memory grow stronger.
Instead of long emotional sentences, start with small feeling words: tired, happy, nervous, excited.
After work, you think, I'm tired. Your brain understands immediately without translation.
Even better, add a short reason. I'm tired because I had many meetings.
That small step connects your real life with English in a powerful way.
Now, here is a very common mistake. Learners wait for perfect English before they allow themselves to think in English.
But perfect English comes after practice, not before. Waiting only keeps you stuck.
Let's talk about thinking speed. When you translate first, your brain becomes slow and heavy.
When you think directly in English, your speed increases slowly, especially if you allow small mistakes.
Mistakes are not enemies. They are signs that your brain is moving forward.
Imagine someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?"
If you translate first, your brain becomes busy and confused. But if you think in English, you think in ideas.
Work, tired, home, rest. Then you speak, "I worked yesterday and came home tired." The grammar may not be perfect, but the meaning is clear. That is communication.
Now let's talk about thinking in chunks, not word by word. This is very important for fluency.
Native speakers do not build every sentence from zero. They use ready pieces again and again.
Pieces like I think, I feel like, I'm not sure, let me check. If you practice 3 new chunks every week and use them in your inner voice, your brain will relax.
Because it no longer needs to build sentences slowly from nothing each time.
Listening also plays a big role in thinking. When you listen daily, your brain starts copying natural patterns.
That is why podcasts and simple conversations help more than heavy grammar books sometimes.
But here's an important rule. Do not pause every minute to translate when you listen.
If you understand 60 or 70%, that's enough. Your brain fills the rest naturally.
Let your brain swim in English instead of walking slowly with translation.
Now let's talk about pressure, because pressure freezes the brain quickly.
When you think, I must speak perfectly, your mind becomes tight and silent.
So change the rule. The new rule is simple. I just need to be understood.
That rule feels friendly and realistic, and it gives your brain space to move.
Try talking to yourself in English when no one is around, while cooking, walking, or cleaning.
I'm cutting vegetables. This smells good. I should hurry. It feels strange at first, then natural.
Your accent doesn't matter inside your head. Thinking is private and safe.
And progress is not about thinking only in English all day. Progress is thinking a little more in English than yesterday.
In the next part, we will face fear directly and talk about confidence in real conversations.
Stay with us because this is where real change begins. The quiet before you answer a question can feel very long. That silence is often where fear begins.
Yes, fear is the part we have not faced directly yet. Fear of mistakes, fear of pauses, fear of sounding strange.
Almost every English learner feels this at some point. It is normal, but it can control your thinking.
And when fear grows, people return to translation because translation feels safe and familiar.
Your first language feels like home. English feels like a guest room that still feels new.
But here is an important truth. You do not stop translating by force. You stop translating by trust.
Trust that simple English is enough for real communication. Trust that mistakes will not break you.
Let's talk honestly about mistakes for a moment. Learners often hate mistakes more than anything.
But even in your own language, you do not think perfectly every time. You pause and change words.
So expecting perfect English thinking only creates unnecessary pressure inside your mind.
And pressure kills thinking because a stressed brain cannot move freely.
Thinking in English needs space, mental space, where ideas can flow naturally without judgment.
That is why confidence is more important than grammar at the beginning.
A relaxed brain learns faster and remembers more because it is not fighting itself.
Here is a simple rule for real life. If your message is clear, it is good English.
Now let's talk about real conversations, because that is where thinking truly shows.
In real conversations, there is no time to translate full sentences carefully.
So what can learners do? Prepare thoughts, not full perfect sentences.
For example, someone asks, "How was your day?"
Instead of preparing a long answer, prepare small ideas. Busy, long, but okay.
Then you speak naturally. My day was busy but productive. That is thinking, not translating.
Another example is weekend plans. Someone asks, "What are you doing this weekend?"
Think first in English. Family, rest, movie, friends. Then speak your simple plan clearly.
I will spend time with family and relax at home. The meaning is clear and calm.
This is how English begins living in your brain, not as grammar rules, but as meaning.
Now let's talk about something emotional. Comparing yourself to other speakers can hurt your confidence.
You hear fluent speakers and think you will never sound like them, but you forget they were beginners too. They translated and paused many times.
Thinking in English is a journey, not a switch you turn on overnight.
Some days your brain feels sharp and quick. Other days it feels slow and heavy.
That is normal progress, not failure. Growth is rarely straight and smooth.
Let's give our listeners a simple daily routine they can follow. In the morning, think simple English thoughts. I need coffee. It's cold today.
During the day, name actions quietly in English. Working, waiting, feeling tired, sending email.
In the evening, reflect for a few minutes. What went well today? What was difficult?
Do this in simple English without opening a dictionary in your head.
And celebrate small wins. If you thought one full sentence in English, that is progress.
If you answered someone without translating first, that is growth you should notice.
Thinking in English is not about speed at the beginning, it is about comfort.
Comfort slowly builds confidence, and confidence builds fluency over time.
Fluency then brings freedom, the freedom to express yourself clearly and connect with others.
So here is the real question for you today. What would change in your life if English felt natural in your mind?
Maybe your job conversations would feel easier. Maybe you would travel with less fear. Maybe you would speak more in class.
That is why this topic matters. It is not only about language, it is about confidence in connection.
Before we close, we want to remind you to be patient with yourself. You are not late. You are learning step by step.
If this episode helped you even a little, please subscribe to My English channel and share it with someone who needs encouragement.
And tell us in the comments, do you still translate in your head, or are you starting to think in English more often?
Keep practicing, keep trusting your progress, and keep building that small English voice inside your mind every day.
Thank you for spending this time with us, and we are proud of every small step you are taking.